We've got one more exercise in this position. If you ever need to stop the video, have a little break, do a bit of walking around, that's absolutely fine. Or if you just want to build up towards the sofa time, that's also absolutely fine. So the final exercise that we're doing is wall presses, and this is one of my favourites. It looks so easy, but it is so hard for me to do. And we're staying in our standing at the wall position. So if you feel like you need a bit of a reminder of standing at the wall, then do make sure you watch the video again to make sure that you're doing everything that you need to with your feet, your ankles, your legs, your hips and your pelvis. But presuming that you do know what the standing at the wall position means, we're going to come to the wall press position. So for wall press, you're keeping the bottom of your ribs against the wall, so we're not flaring the rib cage up. And we're moving the shoulder blades behind us, trying to keep that like double chin sort of feeling through the neck, so we're not tilting the head backwards. Then we spread our hands wide and we spread our fingers wide and we take our hands out to like 45 degrees from the shoulder. So we're not up here, we're not right by our body, we're like about round about here. And what we're going to be doing, and this is what I find just so difficult, oh my gosh, my right leg's going mad just doing this. What we're going to be doing here is pushing backwards into the wall. So the movement that we're doing is like push, hold, release against the wall. But it's not just your hands that are doing the movement. So for me, it's very easy for me to push my hands into the wall. But if you look at my shoulder here, can you see how the shoulder is rounding away from the wall? It's staying in a protracted position. So I'm not driving this movement from my shoulder, I'm driving this movement from my hands. So we've got to make sure that the shoulder blades pull back and down behind us and stay there so that we have this opening across the front of the chest. And we're trying to drive the movement backwards from the shoulder blades and from the upper arms, feeding down into the hands. So it's not the hands starting the movement, it's the shoulder blades and the upper arms. We're going to keep our neck long to start with our head kind of as back towards the wall as we can comfortably, but it doesn't matter if it's a little bit forwards. I'd rather your head be forwards than you tilting your head back and impinging your neck. So driving from the shoulder blades and upper arms, keeping quads tight. You're going to push your shoulder blades and your upper arms backwards. Oh my gosh, my whole right side of my body is trembling. Push the right shoulder and the upper arm backwards. And then that feeds down into the forearms and the hands. I'm wobbling so much. 1, release, okay? 2, squeeze, release. The shoulder blades and the upper arms push back, not just the hands. 3, release. 4, release. Belly stays relaxed, breathing is steady. 5, release. And if your neck hurts, either allow your neck to be a bit more relaxed away from the wall or try and push a little bit less hard with your body. I think we're on about 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. My whole body is trembling, this is great. And we're going to do exactly the same thing with our arms and hands facing this way, but this time we're going to have our head drooping and relaxing forwards. It's going to feel like a bit of a stretch through the back of our neck, and it changes the demand on the shoulders. So having a tiny break, quads tight, belly relaxed, spreading fingers wide, keeping them nice and active, taking hands out sort of 45 degrees from the elbow, pulling the shoulders back and down behind without flaring the rib cage, leading the movement from the shoulder blades and the upper arms, not the hands, resting the head down and forwards. Oh my gosh, the wobbles. And we're going to lead from the shoulder blades and upper arms. Off we go. Push back, hold, release. 1, 2, 3. My right leg. 4. I'm getting such a good hip release. This is crazy. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, relax. This is mad. I haven't had such a good hip release in such a long time, so I need to do this routine again, that is for sure. We're going to nearly finish the routine, I promise, but this time we're going to turn our hands the other way. So we've got the fronts of our palms facing forwards and the backs of our hands against the wall. Principle is exactly the same. So quads stay tight, belly is relaxed, we're pulling the shoulders back and down, leading from the shoulders and the upper arms as we push backwards. So yes, the hands are moving backwards, but it's not just the hands and the wrists moving backwards, it's the shoulders driving the movement. This time the back of the neck stays long, but we will come onto that other neck position in a second. So fingers nice and spread, arms are tight, leading movement from shoulder and upper arms, not the hands. We push backwards, quads are tight. 1, release. 2, release. 3, release. 4, release. 5, release. 6, release. 7, release. 8, release. 9, release. 10, release. Quick little break. Not quite so wobbly doing it that way in comparison to the palms facing down, but I'm still pretty damn wobbly. So, final exercise, we're going to take the palms facing forwards, arms out to that 45 degrees, quads are tight, spreading the fingers wide. We're pulling the shoulders back and down so that the flat edge of the scapula touching the wall, rib cage does not flare up. This time the head relaxes forwards. Off we go, leading from shoulders and upper arms. 1, hold, release. 2, oh wow, the wobbles. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oh my gosh, my leg, 9, oh my god, 10, okay, I was going to stop the routine here, but because my right leg is going so crazy, I don't know if you can see that, but I told you my body judders when I do this for long enough. I'm actually going to hold this for another 5 minutes, so feel free to stop, but if you're enjoying this, this is what happens, okay? You feel into how your body is reacting, and you find the things that make it react in crazy ways like this, and you do more of those things, hold them for a bit longer, and see what happens on the other side of that release. So, I'm not shaking so much now that I've disengaged that right shoulder. So what I'm going to do is find a position where I hold my right shoulder in place, keep my quads squeezing, and then I'm going to see what happens to the shakiness, okay? So because I know that I was getting more of a response when my right shoulder was in position, I'm putting that right shoulder in a more engaged position again, and I got more response when my neck was down, so I'm going to keep the neck down and see what happens. And actually, palms facing that way maybe isn't quite as much as palms facing that way, so let's see what happens. I'm going to push back and just hold, shoulder blades, upper arms. Ooh, now my left leg's going. Actually, I just think I was going to let myself stand a bit too much to focus on